They think I'm Tessie because she's one of the people brainwashing everybody. When I got home from being homeless for 5 years, I came back to my grandmother's house, and Dad called me something. He's like, "Oh yeah, but you didn't do that last night, Tess," or some shit. He started talking to me like I was a different person, and I was like, and my business owner friends, they saw me homeless in San Bernardino, and they heard me yelling at my dad because they were taking over my dad. They're the part of the Shahs of Sunset, the falling of Saddam, and they're invading our house because they saw the LAPD turn time back 3 times for now. So they said she must be somebody important or somebody to follow, like possibly hijack. They're like Robin Hood, right? I would give them the benefit. They have a group home now because of Miss Claire, because of me. Well, I hear the police chatter. The police are always so violent, threatening to Claire to me, and we're talking to. I'm a magnet for bad cops. I'm a magnet for bad police. It's like once you start loving the police, you start getting the ass end of it. Oh my god. Then they really make you feel like an asshole for believing in the cops, and they're like, "We're gonna make you want to abolish the police state." They don't need to be. They said, "Claire, but we need a position worth respecting if you want us to be the people that deserve to be respected." It goes both ways. We both need to appreciate each other. But there's a group of people who were inciting the police to be against the citizen, and they were promoting a brothers in blue kind of a rhetoric. And now I know inherently it's anti-citizen because you are for the people. See, they say only a good cop can answer that. And that's one of the Sufi tests, one of the Sufi powers you bring. You and Pope Francis have like character tests. Whether you're aware of it or not, we all do. Right, right. That was another police officer or the computer. I feel so heard. I represent the cops. I represent the police. I'm not here. No, you're not. We can't tell you who gave her the cops. I own the police and I own white people. All of the other colors are very jealous. I'm Mexican. She's Mexican white. She's Chicana. California born. Her son may have named the state. My son's supposed to be Disney. Or it's a movie. They said it was going to be the first Disney Queen filmed. So is that what it is with Disney? I'm not having any parents. If a kidnapper has my son and raises Disney, and she's confused as to why my son doesn't antithesize a mother figure, I said at the very least, he's being raised by a kidnapper. There aren't other parts of that personality that bleed out into problem areas. It's like, no, it's fine. She's fine other than she kidnapped her son. She just wants to be the one who raised Disney. She's still the nigger that stole my baby. She stole someone's baby. You know, that's some fucked up shit about the future. You can find out how valuable your child is and have somebody just hijack your life like this. In the future, we have safeguards against this. I just don't know where, when. They want to kill everybody and make it nothing. They want to get to nothing. I was trying to sell my last seat at the head of the world. One of the 4 last seats. And I know it means you're the 4th. I was the 4th. But I thought it was like selling land on Mars. I didn't think that you could actually make good on that. And they're going back in time and forward in time. And they're in the FBI and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is how we make that happen." It's like, fuck, nigga. I didn't think we were going to do this. It's like, we shouldn't have supposed to see. I didn't think I could. I mean, you can't. No. No, you literally can't. This is not a pipe. It's so funny how, oh man, how relevant that's become. This is not a pipe. I'm not sure how to say it in French. So the project that I'm a part of was created by Salvador Dali and Walt Disney. So I don't know if my son is an inheritor of Disney, or because they said they're gonna do to Claire me. They're gonna do to her what we did to her mother. We're gonna beat the shit out of her and just take it. And I think that's what they did. At one point, my mother was purple and green and swollen like Quasimodo, and they used her face for Quasimodo. They made Finding Dory because they had me hit in the head 50 times. I had 50 blunt force blows to the head in 15 months. I had like massive concussive disorder for a year. Well, I mean, you could be resuscitated. You're a whole piece of flesh. And what's a scab? It's regeneration. So you can cut something off and it'll grow back. One guy in the upper crust community told me he had to be a lizard's asshole for 6 months because they cut his hand off. So he had to be a lizard's asshole. So his arm was the tail and he was growing his hand back. Mary Ellison, she met me with, she had like all this hiking gear on. And she met me at the Jack in the Box and said, Jack's parents are dead. That's who's keeping us in the Angeles forest. That's where we are, Claire. It's supposed to be like The Village. It's a joke, the affluent play. And they say, to the new ones, oh my gosh. She has her hiking gear on. She says, me and my boyfriend are going to go find a rip in the seam. We'll see you later. Bye. Yeah, like the Truman Show. So it's really funny. There are a couple things like that. We're trying to give you cracked out symptoms, signs, but you're not taking. The government had, or I guess Jenna and Laura Bush, which I'm so grateful, as an experiment, as a plea. We don't want to be sober in the past. Oh my gosh. Well, you're making it okay. We're making you make it okay. That's fucking beautiful. We would be the liaisons. We would be more liaisons than you. Absolutely. I don't want to minimize anybody's participation. I want everybody to be like me. I feel like I don't know what would best suit anybody else with the talents and skill set I have. If anybody could see use in me, right now they think the only good in this girl right here is being a pet. They have to take all my teeth out of my head and sew my mouth shut. And that's all they want from me. This whole show it was supposed to be me picking out a Dobby. And they fucking figured out, well, okay, I thought this was ridiculous. I said, how can they yell at you? Like they said they dislocated my 3-year-old's jaw with their dick, learning a new technique. Or that they didn't feed him for 7 months because they were so busy raping him. And these happened to my family. This happened to my dad. This happened to my grandmother. My grandmother's supposed to be Christina Crawford. Sharon Tate. They named her Sharon Tate in the media because they wanted the others to hear you reprimanded. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for this. So, is my mom Christina Romero? Yubi. They want to consolidate my mother, my grandmother, probably my great-grandmother, and myself so that they can kill us. They want to put us in one soul long enough that we feel like we're one person and then put us in a child's body because that's all they can beat the shit out of us. Like, that's the only way they can do that. It's supposed to be your friend, Shia LaBeouf thing. Chandelier is an example of that. There are women in the upper crust communities who are specifically, we like to say upper middle class. There are women in various classes who are training their sons to just be rapists of adult feminists in children's bodies. I think that that's a waste of a human being. The whole thing. Everybody is beholden to each other. The men are beholden to each other, and they rat each other. And then the women are beholden to the men. And I've had talks like, when do you know the difference between being a hostage and being a wife? Having groups of people ask me, you're not going to throw us under the bus, right? And it's like, no, I'm Unitarian, and my faith demands that we see the inherent respect and worthiness of every single human being. That we are born with the right to be a human being. God gave us that right. You can't give me that right. God said that I was worthy enough to be here because here I am. I'm supposed to be Lucifer. I'm Lucifer. I'm not supposed to be. I have a Luciferian pineal gland. I know, that's good. I'm a drug advocate. I smoke crystal meth, and I believe, I hit MAPS up, and I said, since cannabis is legal, shouldn't there be some kind of like a responsible drug class that is court approved, right? Because cannabis is legal as of January 1st, 2018, 1/1/18. I got in trouble with CPS in 2019 or 2020. No, 2019. And weed is legal, and I have a broken back. I had a broken spine, and it was the best way for me to deal. And I was analyzing why it was the best way to deal. Psychologically, what does it do for somebody to be stoned and be like, okay, so what we would consider like the positive, or like, why do you smoke weed? Well, it makes my limbs feel floaty. Well, that took away a lot of nerve damage pain that I was dealing with, like severe. It felt like 3rd-degree burns from like hips to my toes, the bridge of my toes, the ankles, the knee, my hips. Certain parts of my legs were tender from nerve damage. So I would call it faux pain, which doesn't help me now because I have a group of people who are sarcastically, semantically fighting me over stupid things. So then they say, you weren't really hurt then. It's like, well, no. Well, the damage was in my spinal cord, and it just looked like my limbs. They did x-rays of my knees, and they couldn't find out where the pain was coming from. And I think they maybe thought it was funny. Someone wants to own my bones and keep my... Like, they're excited when I die that they can strip my flesh, and they said they want to look at their work. All the brokenness. I have a broken hip, fractured hip. They've all healed at home. And I just kind of, like, power through it. And, and that, they said it's like $500 million, everything I put that on. You know, there are drag queens waiting to pause you, skin you, let you heal, and then bring you back. So you have no idea how old your son is. No, he was 3 when he left my hands. He should be 7 now. They said Margaret Thatcher never got hers back. Why would you get yours? They said, well, you don't even respect me as a politician. You said it was rude. It is rude to ask you. It is rude to ask me to campaign. I'm supposed to be a queen, and I don't need to campaign. I'm not asking. God made me this person. They said, we do. I still say it was well placed. You've trained me my whole life to be this person, and you've given me certain, like the things that you made me want to do when I was a child. I know, and there were several powers. There was a group of men in Hollywood who were trying to punish my mother, and they said because she was a whore or that of an unclean woman, that her daughter is going to be worthless just like her. So they are not letting me in Hollywood also. That's The Weeknd. Not The Weeknd, nigger. The Neighborhood. And Stuart Gould and Vincent Bartman. And they're people that I knew when I was a teenager or a young adult. And they say, how are you smarter than me? Because they came from wealthier homes than I had. It's just... And I've been fighting them. They're unemployed white sons who can't figure out why I'm getting any kind of attention. I just got like an episode of True Life, and they had a fucking shit fit about it. They did call COVID to listen to me speak. But what good did that do? It didn't matter. Claire was supposed to get that money too. They felt like if this girl who's interpreting Jenna Rhimes, if that one, that's so cute to imagine her as Christy. You're like a professional version. Oh my God. You're classist. I love that. I really appreciate that. The Bush twins made me clothes when I was in high school. Well, we made you fat. Mary Ellison used to do that too. Why did she? She's beholden to Jake, their first husband. See? You're an amazing example, Jenna Rhimes. Oh my gosh, because I've only ever heard your names. We're like her Jiminy Crickets. Oh my God. I'm libertarian. I would consider myself libertarian. I'm a big believer in victimless crimes, that exists. Someone smoking dope by themselves is not necessarily a criminal act, but you can make it that.
You got something on your chest.
Oh, shit. How funny.
See my new fileta?
Your what? Ooh, that's pretty.
Balls on it.
That's cool. That's very nice.
It's sharp.
I like the hook. I like the
Careful.
hook with the higher.
It's a good one.
See, that's what I mean. I'm just going to flail. I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Fuck.
I need to learn how to shoot. That would be the bomb.
This is the safety knife.
Oh,
If you
cool.
get a crash in a car, that's to cut off your seatbelt.
Oh,
And that's
cool.
to break a window.
Yeah,
It's a safety knife.
that's badass. I had like a 6 foot tall staff. Really intimidating with it. I felt secure with that.
We have a little bit of room for
That's the other really. I like the bees. Oh my God. I'm Mexican. I'm of these plains. I think we wanted an Indian, a native one. Oh my gosh. I'm the same as Juanito. He looks like a native, like he looks like an Indian from Peter Pan. It's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. My father is every Inca that ever was. It's this part. Oh, we know Mary from Walmart. We got her back for you. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Why would we be fighting? Because you don't know who would be to you. That's not it. That's not that. I think you need to keep everything. We're doji for you. Is that some bitch who can't ever take accountability for shit that she says? That she does?
Yeah, we took all the boxes.
They're not
there.
doji.
Everything's
She
done.
is.
We'll be back. You want this?
You
stuff too?
associate someone else. We let you think that because we don't know what you want from us.
There, look, whoops and stuff.
Reasonable. Totally reasonable. See, if you had a witness, right, I wouldn't necessarily need an accomplice. I would just need somebody to just be a functioning member of the situation, be an observer. And you don't have to be in my favor to see that I'm not being the full of shit bitch that I'm confronted with. And it's like maybe I become a target for people who feel like acting like that. It's not that I humor it. Because my goal is to try to make you commit suicide. Just so I don't have to deal with you anymore. But it's difficult. I'm not super great at that. Not like I wish I was. Not if you were a real American. You wouldn't That's another quote. That's another t-shirt. I'm an American. I don't stagnate in ignorance. It's like I was fat. I did used to be fat. But that was yesterday and I forgive myself. I'm still not thin. But I'm not where I was. I used to be 300 pounds and 5'2". It's like a bowling ball. That's where you feel like a champion. Oh my god. Because I'm a good sport. I'm just kidding. They don't like hearing that. So there's a guy from my high school dance. He keeps me fat in the computers. He keeps the computers acknowledging me as being fatter. If I wear a shirt with like lines, it's much more obvious. And the police here, because they have access to Hollywood folk, and they've started keeping them as collectibles. And one woman goes, I have a collection of socialite toys that gets me anywhere I want. It's a big problem. The CDC said they were going to have to treat it like a FEMA disaster to get everybody out of here. How high is it above the eyeball? So he's responsible for every single person's pen who runs out of ink early. He's got a collection. He's got a collector. He has a horde of women who go through trash bins and take out pens. They're trying to be like you. They're trying to be like me. I get office supplies from the store. It's just, you guys made me this person. We think it's for Stuart. He doesn't like going through the trash, but he knows that you did. Why is there Louis Vuitton couture? Oh my god, nigga. They tailor me in my sleep and then pretend like they didn't. And then I accidentally find a floor-length London fog trench coat and houndstooth. When I was in Palm Springs, an Italian mobster through MK, so it's all remote neural device. He tells me, he said, yeah, like it's a Mexican affectation, like white girls don't ever repeat themselves or redundant. He's just trying to marginalize you. He's trying to separate you from the group. I like when you said that. Tell your group, okay? Really, it's a big deal. I've been confronted with various political parties, like even if they're just locally political, like socially local political, race situations or race, what would that be? Race, relations in like Colton High School. Every year they have a black versus white riot. It's like every single year, and it's like a big mass. They think they're practicing. They think that their parents are having them do that in case the government overthrows like they did with you. The police are just watching as these people rape me. If they're making me be homeless, and it's because they approve of rape culture. They want to see you as a symbol of their demise, by killing you, by killing me. They can overcome you, and the way you tease and taunt us. They make me piss my pants all the time, or they try. They haven't yet, but they said they're gonna make me get into a situation where I have to wear a fucking diaper if I don't want to be humiliated in public. And they're only gonna allow me in public. They say that good people won't allow a whore in the bathroom, in the house to use the bathroom. This is like Chris Hardwick. That's your dad, and you're okay with saying that shit? And then using your dad's reputation that pays your day? The next time that you have to go pick up weed, remember that. Who the fuck you're damning? What the fuck? I tell these people who tell me I'm worthless, I'm like, you need to call me money when you speak to me. And then when they're fucking rude to me, it's like, I'll call them money facetiously. Write down the top 5 things that your time is paid for. I don't have anything. I'm not employed. You guys don't let people give me tips in person. Nothing. Making money like a mint. No, not the people who live at the mint. My friends and family. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. They found a way like Herbalife to take our money. That's how they're doing that? We want to get it back for you. We can't. Really, you can't. It's bullshit. You can't do it honestly. How the fuck do you figure that? They have me declared as dead. I'm not trying to arm them, but I can't help but notice. How many times can you have someone declared lost at sea and collect full death benefits from the government? How many times can you declare someone lost at sea? As many times as that bitch likes to go crabbing. She said she's done it 5 or 6 times. Miss noticed. And I have a suggestion. I think this is good for your camera show, because then you feel more comfortable talking to you and bringing it up. We're so used to just speaking flippantly. Disregarding. It seems important. You're the daughters of President Bush, former president. It's amazing. They made me a ballroom skirt when I was in high school because I like goth and Nightmare Before. Not Nightmare Before. That's my son. Interview with the Vampire, which has been so relevant, become so relevant, like a symbolic of slavery, celebrity. I don't want anybody to be beholden to anybody like that. The record producers, well, it's because they're not really the producers. They're hijackers. They feel like if I represent myself and my art and my talent, myself, then there's no buffer for me to hold them by the nuts and say, well, I'm not going to pay you for your services. So they feel like they want a third-party person to be a representative in the media for me. And they're like, well, I'm so ugly and fat anyways that they need to have a person in the media represent me. So it's in both of our benefits. They insist. I want to represent myself. A lot of women, like Miss. Oh my gosh. You're such a sweet girl. And Miss is all I can say. Yes, she can. Yes, she absolutely fucking can. Yes, she can. Anybody. Oh my God. I want people to be themselves and feel heard. That was the best thing I could hear. Is that the police felt heard, or that an officer felt heard when I was communicating back and forth with him or her. That was my parent. The Chamber of Commerce kids, this stuff is not lost on them either. People in local government care. There are people who don't, but there are people who really, really do, and their whole families participate. Just like there are a few prominent families in LA, and they are a product of the environment, and they've been trained to not take themselves seriously. So we were here. I just